Welcome to Trending Upward, a podcast that is dedicated to helping you grow deeper in your walk with the Lord. In each episode, we share clear and concise Bible truths that are designed to encourage, challenge, and strengthen you in your walk with the Lord. Whether you're just beginning your Christian journey or have been walking with Christ for years, Trending Upward is here to help you keep moving forward and steadily ascending in your relationship with Christ. As we pick up in our series on prayers of God's people, we will be on part number 27, and we're going to be looking at Esther and her prayer before courage. We will be in the book of Esther, chapter 4 and verse 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. Esther was not only a woman, but Esther was a strong woman. She was given to prayer and fasting. She was presented with a great challenge. This challenge was to go before the king. But Esther said this in verse 11, all the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his, to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days. So the king had a rule that he would kill anyone who came into his inner court without being called. Esther knew the risk. The risk was the possibility of her losing her own life. But I believed Esther loved God more than she loved her own life. I believe she loved the Jews more than she loved her own life. Now that must be the case when one is willing to risk losing life or limb for God and a people. But what did Esther order of the people? And what did Esther order of herself? It was fasting and prayer, neither food or drink for 3 days. The order was 3 days and 3 nights. Esther believed in the power of fasting and prayer. Esther believed that God hears and answers prayer. Esther said upon the conclusion of the season of fasting and prayer that she would go before the king, but she wanted to pray first. And she wanted to have a season of fasting first. She said this in verse 16, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish. Esther's essentially saying, I'm doing it. It's against the king's law. And if I die, I die. I love this phrase from this strong woman. Again, I emphasize a strong woman. She said, and so will I go in unto the king. Now you know the rest of the story. You can read more in Esther chapter 5, but Esther received favor in the king's sight. God heard and God answered the prayer of his people, but more so the effort of Esther to call the people to a fast and to call herself to a season of fasting and prayer. Before approaching the king, Esther called for fasting and prayer. And I tell you today, courage grows when we first seek God's help. I ask you today, what challenge do you need courage to face? Are you willing to fast and pray? Are you willing to deny yourself some of the pleasures of this life to get a hold of God and show God that you are serious enough to gain victory? And show God that you are trusting in Him and Him alone. Thanks for tuning in to Trending Upward. If today's episode encouraged you, be sure to share it with someone who could use that same truth. I invite you to keep seeking, keep growing, and keep your eyes fixed on the Lord. So until next time, stay grounded in His Word and keep trending upward.